Yeah, so there was another episode of The Flash. Um, Matters of the Heart, or Heart of the Matter, Part 2, whatever, it doesn't matter. It was awful. Uh, yeah, and a lot of it was just repetition of stuff they'd already solved. And I'm not just talking about their, emotional manipulation scenes and all that. Yeah, that's just a given. But they would fight the Godspeed clones and do the same thing over, but now they had, Iris shows up and she has flash powers now. I guess just for the moment because, the Speed Force, who looks like Barry's mom, gave him powers. I don't know what she was busy with before. It seems like she could have just solved all of this. But then, oh no, they suddenly noticed that Godspeed can absorb Speed Force, which he's been doing all along, and was absorbing the Speed Force from the Speed Force, so Speed Force had to leave. Yeah. Iris and Nora look really great in those tight outfits, so that was the plus, but that was about it. Jay Garrick shows up, but all he does is throw his hat at the Godspeeds. It's really tough. Cisco shows up for another guest spot alongside Frost, but yeah, so what? So apparently the whole plot is Godspeed wants organic speed because his speed is artificial speed. Now, he's absorbing Speed Force, so it seems like he could have just gone and got it. But he needs Barry to give it to him for some dumb reason. So Barry does, but don't worry, he's got a plan. So his plan was to have Speed Force bring Reverse Flash back. So Tom Cavanaugh shows up for a guest spot, and together they make lightsabers out of lightning and fight Godspeed. And then, of course, Reverse Flash stabs Godspeed, and Barry's like, no! And so what did you expect, But ultimately, it's because Reverse Flash doesn't want anyone to kill Barry. He wants to kill Barry himself, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, you're weak, and they fight, but then Barry whoops his ass. And he's like, what? What? Well, I'll be back. And he disappears, and there you go. So I guess they're suggesting he'll do some more guest spots in next season. Yeah. It looks like torture on the faces of, Grant Gustin and Candace Patton. It just looks like they just don't want to be there anymore. But they probably stayed too long, and so it's going to be hard to find other work after this, perhaps. But, so what do you do? But, so they're going to have to go through this for another season. That's too bad. So, they just recycle crap, and which they've done a lot of in this series, even when it was good. But good God, you can only do it so many times. It was just awful. Barry and they resolved the thing with Joe and Detective Kramer. Turns out, yes, she's a meta. Surprise. And seems like, she's a speedster. But turns out her ability is that she can mimic other metas' powers. So when she supposedly was killed back in her military mission, she actually was copying the powers of her, ex-buddy, who apparently is immortal. He can, regenerate and can't kill him or whatever. So she didn't die because she regenerated. So now in the midst of all these Godspeed people or whatever, she suddenly had super speed and was able to save Joe and all that. So yeah, she came in at the end to tell Joe she tested positive for meta. So anyway, so she's got to go find herself. So she's resigning from the police force. So I don't know. I guess they'll put Joe back in for next season or something. I don't know. So anyway, Iris and Barry decide to renew their vows, so they do a wedding at the house. And then Impulse sings a song, and I just skipped through that. And that's that. Iris and Barry kiss, and there you go. That's the Flash. So, yeah, it's pretty awful. I don't have anything else except once again I watched it, so you don't have to. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.